The next one is sticking with stricter schedules and routines. And again, this is maybe not something that every parent does, but most of the parents that I know have some type of schedule and routine that they stick by. Obviously, it's just my husband and I, and we do have a schedule and a routine that we stick to, but we can stray from the schedule and the routine kind of whenever we want to, and it doesn't really have a real bad negative effect. I feel like when you have kids, you kind of have to stick to those schedules and routines a little bit more because it makes a parent's life a lot easier when your kid goes to bed on time and wakes up on time. If my husband and I decide to stay up until midnight one night, neither of us are going to have a tantrum the next day. I hope we don't. As a parent, you probably have to be a little bit more particular on sticking to a schedule, and again, I know not every family does that, but knowing there's not as much wiggle room in your schedule is just something I guess you get used to as a parent, and it's probably for the betterment of the entire family. My husband and I have date night every Wednesday night. We know that that's the night we are going to spend together, so there's no extra projects, late work nights, or anything that gets in the way of that date night. I cannot believe how hard some parents have to work to coordinate a date night. And it's not like they're getting date night every single week. They're getting it once every so often. And I feel like it'd be really hard to try and schedule in a date night if you had kids because there's so many more moving parts to having a date night. It's not just let's jump in the car and go for a date night. It's we have to get a babysitter. And I'm sure most parents are pretty concerned about who actually stays with their kids. And there's probably only a very small handful of people that you would trust. It's an extra cost. For some people, that's not always feasible. So it is so easy to take date night for granted, and I know my husband and I do, but I feel like that would be such a hard thing to give up, and it certainly doesn't mean that parents with kids can't have a date night, but it usually seems to be a little bit harder to schedule and have happen. Now this one refers more to when a kid is younger, probably baby age up to, I don't know, a toddler, I suppose. But it's all of the stuff that you have to take with you when you go somewhere. I mean, I know how long it takes me to pack my giant purse, and I throw all sorts of stuff in there that I don't even look at and don't even use, but I take it because I'm like, well, just in case I might need this, you know? But for a parent, all the stuff that you guys have to pack to take along, I mean, you gotta take clothes and diapers and bottles and toys and snacks and who knows whatever else babies need. That's a lot of stuff to get together, plus getting yourself ready, plus getting any other kids ready every time you go somewhere. I feel like that is huge. Like, I would never get anywhere on time. Like, I'm pretty sure I never would. I can hardly get myself ready on time. Life would happen and I would miss out on it because I was too busy packing a suitcase to go to the grocery store. Cleaning up after kids. I am a neat freak. I love my house to be super tidy, and I know that with kids this would be extremely challenging because you want kids to have fun. You want them to be able to play with their toys and not be worried about making a mess on the floor because mommy's gonna get mad. But I just can't stand having toys around. Like, the cats have a basket with toys in it, and they'll go in the basket and take toys out, and if the toys are strewn over the living room and the dining room and the kitchen, I have to pick them up. But I think the part of me that has to have everything sanitized and super tidy and clean would have a really hard time with just letting a kid be a kid and making a mess and being like, you know what, it's part of life, it'll be fine. Baby proofing and toddler proofing my house. My house is in no way, shape or form baby proofed. People bring their babies and their toddlers over and they're like, oh Hannah, you might want to put this away or you might want to put that away, the baby's gonna get it. I don't even think about putting stuff like that away until the kid has it like in their hand and they're playing with it or they're like chewing on it, and then I'm thinking, oh man, they probably shouldn't have that, but then I feel bad taking it away from the kid. We also have this wicker basket and it's filled with a bunch of toys, and the toys are basically things that other people have somehow left at our house that have kids or that we've inherited, and I'm not sure why we have kid toys, but we do. And so whenever kids come over, it literally doesn't matter what their age is. We just grab this basket and put it in our living room on the floor and just let the kids go play with it. So you're not thinking that the Legos are really not good for the 2-year-old because the pieces are like this big. You don't think about that when you don't have your own kids. You're just like, here, some toys, have at her, go have fun. It's really not that big of a deal to me if something gets broken because it is just stuff and I just want to enjoy my house the way that it is. I don't have to worry about cleaning it all up and making it bare for when someone's kids come over in case they wreck something. I'm pretty chill about that kind of stuff, I think. But yeah, I probably will actually never baby-proof my house because I just don't really see the point. I can understand from a parent's perspective, they feel much more comfortable if the house is like child-friendly. But I also think there's so many things in my house that aren't child-friendly that I would literally have nothing left anywhere. And if you've watched any of my videos, I already have a pretty bare house. I'm pretty minimalistic when it comes to decorating. I would literally have like nothing around. So I'm okay with just leaving stuff out. If it gets broken, whatever, it's just stuff, it could be replaced. If you're curious curious as to why my husband and I do not have any kids, there is a video right here that you can watch and it will explain why we don't.